towards experiencing things a certain way. Is it really an affinity? I mean, we do it. We experience something, we have a particular reaction. Every time we step anywhere near that kind of experience again, we have the same reaction. That's a routine. There's a pattern. Yeah. So what is a routine? Eating isn't. Eating is a necessity. So it's not really what I'm talking about. Going to work, well, that tends to be a necessity. Even if you weren't working for money at some job, you would be plowing the field or building your house. So you would be working at something. So that's not what I'm talking about either. How you get around? No. It's all part of what you're doing here. What I'm talking about, say you can't sleep. You've experienced this more than once. You get up and you're frustrated. Why? Because I got to get up and go to work in the morning. It's getting late. You're counting how many hours of sleep you're going to get. And every time you can't sleep, that's the reaction. And all this paranoia about, I have insomnia, it's 2 a.m., I gotta be up by 6, I gotta be fresh, I gotta be alert, I gotta be awake. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Finally get to bed at 4:35. That's a trained habit. There's a routine. People are constantly kept awake. When there are pressing issues that need your attention, that have nothing to do with anybody else, the perfect time to go through those is at night. For two reasons, really. The first one being purely scientific. People are asleep. The conflicting energies around are reduced, diminished. So your clarity is a lot better. The other reason people are kept up, your soul, your spirit wants a moment with you. Wants a moment with you. You sit down and take that moment? That would be breaking the habit of reacting negatively to it. Gone, instantaneously. Problem solved. Don't you? You need to know. If you don't, you should find out. It's just a suggestion. If your soul really loves you, if what's looking out of your eyeballs from its deepest place loves you, and then ask yourself, the one that meets and greets and has a name and does all the work, if it loves it back. See, there's a very good reason for breaking patterns. It's allowing your soul time to come in and check up on you, to give you a boost, to give you the information you need, to give you the feeling of well-being that all of this is for. That's what all this is for. To arrive at the sense of well-being. Isn't that why you do anything? Isn't that why we go out and do anything? Well-being, satisfaction. Well, in order to really find that, you have to be attuned to that. To be attuned to that, you have to have contact with your being. You have to merge them, which means that the ego consciousness does not disappear. It diminishes. And your full consciousness, the totality of yourself, emerges. There are times when what you're doing only calls for forward ego consciousness. When you do that, right? Take a bath, take a shower, do all that stuff, eat, go where you need to go, do all that. Right? But if you do that so much that it becomes this thing you just do without any thought to it, it is no longer creative. It is no longer being influenced by your soul. It's being influenced by the repetition. It's a little hamster on the thing. Well, as long as there's somewhere to keep running, I'll just keep running. It's on a wheel. It's going to run forever. So when you find you have one of these things you always do, just put the brakes on it, throw a wrench in it, see what happens. Right? Grind it to a halt, even if it means you go skidding across the pavement. Accept that. This is your dream. This is your, as you're seeing it, that's you. You're looking at the world, that's you looking at it. That's you're experiencing. If you've decided it's fine enough for you to experience skidding across the pavement, and wrecking and crashing and burning to learn something, well, then you can handle it. Right? I mean, if you called for it, you can handle it. Right? No one decides what's going to happen to you. At any moment, no one decides how you're going to react to something. You do. So, when you find yourself with these reactions, you also are the person that can go, you know what? I'm going to do it a little differently this time. That is the spiritual road. That's the red road. That's the good road. Even if it means you go crashing into oblivion, it's still the best road. Because eventually, you get above all this. When you get up in those heights, you go out in oblivion. How could you do anything else? When a star explodes, it's oblivion. When a soul crosses that barrier for good, not to come back here, not on the samsara wheel, not on this wheel of birth and death. When they get beyond that habit, that process, that cycle, it's oblivion. And you always feel it. Most people aren't really too sensitive to it. But when one makes it, everybody benefits. In ways you can't even, most people can't even imagine. Right? There's not that many of them that have made it recently. There always has to be someone willing to punch through this hallucinatory experience, this delusional state, this humdrum, ho-hum, I'm bored. Let's get drunk because you know what? I got nothing better to do. I'm going to go looking for sex and looking for sex and looking for sex because why? Exactly. It's a temporary fix to a very, very eternal problem. When one goes blasting past all that,